start to try and upset the confidence of the Springbok lineup. Dan Lyle alongside me. What did you make of South Africa first time out?
Well, like you said, showed a lot of pace and showed a lot of consistency, but unfortunately right from the early kickoff here, potentially a mistake that Uruguay played on, and South Africa get a second chance right from the
Leave it alone if you want the free kick. No. Come on, guys, open up.
Well, Uruguay foolish there. They might as well just have ignored the ball and said, no, we'll take the free kick, free ball on the halfway. They made a mess of it. South Africa got the line-out throw. This is Daniel Dimas. Oh, there's quick. Very quick, and they'll not get near him now. Hard, though. Juan Campomar tried. That just shows what a foolish start from Uruguay it proved to be when a free kick turns into South African possession in the opening score. That sets the tone for the whole game.
That's right, giving the ball away, massive possession. South Africa get the ball, and these dreadlocks and long hair seem to be the people that are scoring all the tries in these games, and South Africa just glided in there. That is a lot of pace. Track stars in the making, and these guys, and look out, there's a track right outside the stadium here, and we'll see if they don't all challenge each other to a race come Sunday afternoon.
Quite fun, wouldn't it? The likes of Daniel Dimas, Fabian Juris, Hugo Monnier, Richard Horton, Rian van Zyl.
Thank you.
Be a good race. Good try that by Dimas, youngster from Western Province.
Let it go now,
again, budding players who came under the initial tutelage, of course, of Chester Williams. Did a fine job and really brought South African sevens right back to the top under his tutelage.
Let it go. You're going to run.
Now
Stay
the
back, guys.
province of new coach Paul True, himself a former outstanding sevens player for South Africa. So he's got a very promising squad here to work with.
It's coming out.
Already
Leave it.
winners of the tournament this year in Dubai, semi-finalists in their hometown tournament of George. Uruguay then, newly qualified for Rugby World Cup finals in sevens. Only a week ago, or 2 weeks ago now.
Scrum, green.
The American referee Al Kemp there, just
wait for the engage, guys.
Uruguay looked like they were going to look to maul it up the field there, and in their style, the South American forward dominated.
I've seen them do that.
They did that a few times, but unfortunately knocking the ball on.
Terrifically powerful in the scrummage. It seems to be a South African forte. Is Schoeman. Yeah, he's quick. Quick, very direct. Not the most beautiful runners to watch, like Dimas or Richard Horton, but incredibly effective. Has had some superb seven tournaments. Back end of last season, of course, when they won in Cardiff. He was a key man and has been there now for 3 years. 25-year-old, and made it look very easy here.
Yeah, pretty easy. Just ball scooted out of the back. Nice little handoff there. Slides a little backwards, takes some time, put the ball in one hand, and just rounds his man. And then slides it through. The conversion goes through for another 2 points for South Africa. 14-0, Nigel. A little bit easy, huh?
It is easier than I thought it might be. And
That's
certainly easier than I thought Uruguay thought it might be as well. But South Africa, clearly one of the challenges. They had an enormous setback last week when they lost to Tonga in the pool rounds. Came back, though, to beat France in the quarterfinals of the Cup. They made amends, got to the semi-final, but came up against one too good on their home track, and that was New Zealand. But don't discount South Africa amongst real challenges for this title.
Here first, okay. Guys, come on. Open up.
Back of their line is Dale Heitman. The throw from their captain, Kevin Foote. One of the Natal contingent. Hot bit of sevens.
No.
What's wrong with that?
What do you guys want?
Not straight?
Give on ground too, fellas. What do you want? Line out, scrum. Scrum, blue. No, guys.
Well, Nigel, it's easy to see that these teams that have so much pace
Touch and hold.
in each team are really going to be
Get
the ones that
up.
contend.
Good. Come on, get it in there.
Uruguay are battling. They want to be physical. They showed some early good spots
Let it go
in
now,
their
Six.
team.
Let it go.
But they just don't have the pace to matter with the top teams. Now they're going to show up in this tournament, and they're going to be a contender for other honors. But a little bit too much class on the South African side, I think.
Set up by Dale Heitman, now by Earl Rose. Schoeman on the wide outside against Campomar. And again, the pace off the mark is the key factor. Campomar almost had him, but he had big, striding, long legs. Stepped out of the tackle, all over.
Yep, Schumann shows a little bit of diversity on this one in that he takes the ball once again from a standing start. Once again, just a little flick back by South Africa. Standing start once again. Now he shows himself that I got a little power too. You want to try to grab me? No, I don't think so. And I'm going to dive over, score one nice in the corner.
For a 17-0 lead, and some contented South African supporters. Quite a few South Africans in this part of the world, aren't there, who, like the Kenyans and the South Sea Island supporters, have come here in numbers today.
They want to see the fans want to see their players, and we've had a lot of interest from South Sea Islanders and South Africa, and most of these people are showing up today and supporting their team very well.
Good to see.
Play on!
Schoeman, neat.
Advantage.
Fabian Juris just knocks on.
Scum. Blue, fellas. There.
Mistakes in sevens, Nigel. They come up and they seem more or less important in the game, but they're very visible because there's not as many people on the field. And,
there's no hiding place.
No hiding place at all, is there?
I think we've all suffered from that.
That's right.
Let it go now. Good.
My day, it was a slower game. Here the pace is unrelenting and the fitness levels are just a different dimension these days. Good play now by Santiago Alfaro, but the cover's good. Confidence is there as we count down the last 10 seconds. And the ball's with Juris. Haven't seen much of him yet, but you have now. Just that little close quarter elusiveness and then the acceleration, because in sevens it's often not so much pace over a long distance, but speed off the mark and speed in the short term, isn't it?
That's right. Once you get away from the first cover tackle or the first person man-on-man, whether they're in a drift defense, which means they're coming up and sliding across and they're keeping a sweeper in the back, or they're man-on-man, you make the one tackler miss, and it's almost a guaranteed try. And that power in making that man miss comes from that first couple steps, Nigel.
Juris the scorer. Half time. 24-0 is pretty comprehensive.
Vieron que una cosa, cuando vamos y volvemos, le creamos peligro, se le hicimos, fuimos para allá, volvimos para este lado, volvimos para allá, había espacio, lo que pasa es que no tenemos que definir ahí, tenemos que agarrar, ahora le hacemos posibles allá, le pisamos para adentro, gordo, le pisás para adentro, buscás una lanza, y si no, y volvemos a jugar, pero vamos a tenerla. La diferencia con el otro partido es que lo tuvimos 4 minutos, hoy no la tuvimos nunca. Cada vez que la loco les agarra, nos clavan, son rápidos, pero vamos a mantenerla, vamos a agarrarla nosotros, mantenerla, no regalarla. Tampoco arranque el solo el chapi de los scrum, vamos afuera, a ver qué pasa, vamos afuera, dejando la salida, síguenle, vamos un rato y volvamos, vamos a hacer los cambios, sale Juanchi y sale el tipo, la mexicana de 10, va.
Exciting game. Anxious faces of the Uruguayans.
Let them all, fellas. Let it come.
Bravely, creditably in the 15-a-side World Cup. We're hoping, I think, on the back of last week's very successful tournament. Here's Dimas, though. Giuria's. Key is not just the man who breaks with the ball at pace, it's the man who comes up to support him. And that was perfectly done by Giuria's. Outstanding.
Well, fantastic combination, Dimas and Giuria's there. They broke the ball upfield. Conversions made it. Ball's passed outside. Big, long, sweeping pass. Little step there, right off the mark once again. Sweeping through 2 Uruguayan defenders. Dimas is away, holds his man, bam. 10 comes in, that's Giuria's between the posts.
Lying second equal with England behind New Zealand in the series overall so far.
Okay, let's go.
And I must say, this will do their confidence enormous good. They're playing really well and just outclassing a side who at least
stay.
Gave France more than a scare or two. But showing here, they're in a different league at the moment. South Africa.
Let it go now, Blue. Good.
Uruguay. Emiliano Caffera sets it up. Scramble possession inside their own 22. But they just don't seem to have the pace wide out. Ignacio Conti setting it inside to Alfredo Giuria.
Come on, guys. Keep it up. No, sorry, fellas. Bottom by Blue. Not recovered. Green. Up, brought in. Ball. Scum is green.
Well, that was just a bit of a disappointment by Uruguay. Had a ball across the side, other side of the field near the team rock sign. Spun the ball, didn't go to hand.
Let him go, let him go.
Scrum South Africa held up the ball, and bam.
Earl Rose. Well, they can come from anywhere, can't they? They've got so many options in their lineup. And this is with Schoeman off the field, but there's still Giuria's, Dimas, and this time Earl Rose. Only his second season as sevens. He's come through the ranks of Western Province under 19s. There's another elusive running, wily customer, and bags of pace.
You identified him early, Nigel, that this is a man that's got some pace, and he let his other teammates, Giuria's and Dimas, do it early, and he said, I can do it too, and off the mark, he was between the posts.
Well, some quality play, which I'm sure the crowd are enjoying. Not the contest perhaps we'd hoped for. But at least seeing what class play is like here with the best teams in the world in this form of the game. And don't think because they're not the household names from the 15-a-side game that they aren't the best.
No, you're good.
These national 7 squads will beat their own best from their 15-a-side playing this shortened version of the game every time and again. Lovely handling. Eugene Francis, very generous to Earl Rose. Would have scored it himself, but having run in support, said you deserve it, just flicked it on. In a canter, 43 points and still 3.5 minutes to go. But people sometimes do make this mistake, don't they? They assume that because you're a top-class 15-a-side player, you'd suddenly settle into sevens. It's a different skill, a different discipline. And these teams like the England 7, New Zealand 7 would wipe the floor with their 15-a-side equivalents in sevens.
No doubt about that, Nigel. Class is class, but the experience of the sevens game, the understanding of the angles in the game, it's very interesting. Everyone should watch that today and really kind of pay attention to where they would be on the field if they were a 15s person versus a sevens man, and really see the subtleties that you're talking about.
Good.
Restart. Careless knockdown by Dale Heitman from South African point of view.
No,
Needed a more accurate deflection than that. But it's well won back by Kevin Foote. Brian Habana. Now Daniel Dimas. Santiago Alfaro despairingly in defence. That's a time where it's pace or nothing. You just cannot compete with a man who can get on the wide outside with a bit of room and has the legs on you to the extent that Dimas had there over Alfaro. 50 points notched up, and he's having a field day.
No disrespect to Alfaro there, but I think that Dimas probably was only in about 3rd or 4th gear and going around him there, and that just shows how much gas that man really has.
Well, whatever else they've done, they've certainly thrown the gauntlet down to the other top teams here with this performance, South Africa.
Well, that's right.